We've deprecated Salesforce and Workday.
That was strange. Yeah.
How can a company that big deprecate those two systems of record? How is that even? How is it possible?
I think it means they're writing their own, right?
Well, I'll tell you how it's possible. And so this is like this next crazy thing that's been happening. We've been doing a version of this to go after some other sources of software. We haven't had the balls, to be honest, to go after Salesforce or Workday. But here's how they do it. They write these agents, and these agents can spawn other agents, right? So it's very classic kind of machine that builds a machine. And you start to observe the inputs and outputs of a system, right? I'm hyper simplifying, but it'll make the point. And over time, what the agents start to do is by observing the inputs and the outputs, they start to guess on what the intervening code is, and the code paths must be in the middle to generate the outputs based on these inputs. And so over time, what happens is you develop a digital twin, and then you run that against that counterfactual, against Workday or Salesforce. And then at some point, you're like, it's the same. And then you just turn it off, and you're saving yourself tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's a version of what Klarna did. It takes an enormous amount of technical strength to do it. It also takes tremendous, I think, executive courage and leadership, because I think that's a very difficult decision to embark on. But if you're an engineer, that must be an unbelievably exciting technical challenge to be a part of. But that's the basic premise of what they were able to do. Hopefully they share more, and maybe they even open source what they did, because I think it would just be an amazing thing for all of us to look at.
Yeah, I mean, to restate it, watch people use a piece of software, and then based on what they do, you could write the code, which you could take a video of a video game today, like Angry Birds, and somebody did this. You give the Angry Birds iPad, game from 15 years ago to AI, it's going to back into the code just by watching it. So why not just watch people use Salesforce or Workday? And those are very expensive.